time for another round of live, local, play-by-play coverage of Southwest Metro Sports on PSB Media.
Taken away by Spinner, potential shorthanded opportunity. Here comes Steven Spinner, the captain. Shot.
Great blocks in front of him, just waits for him to develop, breaks an arm tackle, and will dive for the end zone.
Watch the teamwork, tradition, and all-out competition unfold live on any streaming device.
Here's an opportunity, score!
PSB Media's coverage of tonight's game is brought to you in partnership with BEC TV.
And it's rocked! The game is over! Morris Blake wins 1-0 in the bottom of the 10. Rick Ravel is the hero.
Catch all of the action all season long on your home for Southwest Metro Sports. PSB Media.
Brady Stew up from his defense. We'll leave it for Graham. Graham works his way and scores in overtime. Michael Graham with the game.
It's time for another round of live, local, play-by-play coverage of Southwest Metro Sports on PSB Media.
Away by Spinner, potential shorthanded opportunity. Here comes Steven Spinner, the captain. Shot.
Great blocks in front of him, just waits for him to develop, breaks an arm tackle, and will dive for the end zone.
Watch the teamwork, tradition, and all-out competition unfold live on any streaming device.
Andy with it, gives off for Zul, starts through traffic. Here's an opportunity, score!
PSB Media's coverage of tonight's game is brought to you in partnership with BEC TV.
And it's rocked! The game is over! Morris Blake wins 1-0 in the bottom of the 10. Rick Ravel is the hero.
Catch all of the action all season long on your home for Southwest Metro Sports. PSB Media.
Brady Stew up from his defense. We'll leave it for Graham. Graham works his way and scores in overtime. Michael Graham with the game.
Game time is coming up next.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bloomington Ice Garden. Kevin Ford, Brett Johnson with your coverage tonight. The Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars and the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights. This is a Metro West Conference game. It's the second conference game of the season for Bloomington, as well as the Red Knights. Earlier in the season, Bloomington Jefferson able to pick up a 4-1 victory at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. They stand at 1-0 in conference play. Obviously, the Red Knights losing that one. They are 0-1, 7-10-2 overall, and after what was a very promising start, they lost loads of talent from last year's squad that finished runner-up in the state 2A championship. Weren't ranked to start the season in the Let's Play Hockey poll, but got off to a fast start, 7-2-2, including some close performances and some well-contested games against top 5 level competition, including Dodge County and Eden Prairie. But the wheels have kind of fallen off the wagon here to start 2015, and the Red Knights now have lost 7 consecutive games. Bloomington Jefferson comes in with a 9-9 record. Again, the Red Knights 7-10-2. In goal tonight for Bloomington Jefferson is number 40, Mara McLean. She's played in 9 games this season and is 2-2, and getting the start as she normally does for BSM is Anna DiGiulio. We are underway from the Ice Garden, and up ahead is Fashion with it. She'll take a shot on DiGiulio. A glove-handed save. It's our first stoppage of play. 16:34 left in the first period.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch Jefferson go up here against this Benilde St. Margaret's goaltender DiGiulio. You and I, Kevin, saw her play earlier, and she's a bit of a feisty customer, not afraid to protect her crease if any players go on in there. So She's a little bit different than your typical goalie who's more even-keeled. She's very emotional, but also a very talented goaltender as well.
And a shot goes into DiGiulio. And on the season, you mentioned certain skill set she has. 6-10-2, the record not outstanding, but her goals against at 2.76 and save percentage over 90%, not too bad. And another face-off won by Smith goes right into the goaltender yet again. So 3 quick plays testing DiGiulio early on. The face-off. Red Knights able to win this one, get out in open space. That's Selgis. Coming up, the Spreece is Cornell, and she puts a hit on a Jaguars player. Stelgis out to the point. A shot comes in, blocked off the body of Kristen Sacco. And playing out to neutral ice for the Red Knights. It's turned over. Taking it for the Jaguars is Rachel Graff, the 9th grader. As board pass goes back to the Red Knights defense. Try to play a board pass up to neutral ice. A bit of a scrum. And the Red Knights will switch up their line. A minute and a half gone by. The Jaguars Nightingale, the starting left defenseman, will come in offside before she can get a shot in on DiGiulio.
A couple of seconds ago, Bloomington, lucky they didn't get a too many players on the ice call. A little sloppy with their line change. The puck actually hit the skate of the player who came out onto the ice as the 6th girl, and referee could have easily called that for too many players, but have to see if Bloomington can clean up their switches a little bit.
And a current facing off there was Sorum. Sorum had 2 goals in that loss to Eden Prairie, accounting for both those goals in that 3-2 setback. A game we cover right here on PSB Media. Follow us on Twitter at PSBMN as Sorum backhands that one into the open space corner. Playing it back to Sorum. There's her teammate Simone. They make a good 1-2 punch on the top line for head coach Dave Herbst. Now 3-on-1 opportunity the other way. The shot from the face-off circle is covered up by the goaltender DiGiulio.
First good chance we've had here in this game as Bloomington got Benel a little flat-footed in transition, setting up that odd player rush, but DiGiulio stood her head, made a good save. Also was able to snatch that one out of the air. So far looking good so far for the Red Knights, which will be important since, as you said, Kevin, Bloomington won that first matchup rather handedly by a score of 4-1. This matchup likely could decide the Metro West Conference, which is a little bit of a smaller league with just 4 teams due to some co-ops, but still always very important to win that inaugural conference title.
Yeah, always a matter of pride. And as far as the level of competition, at least to start, the Metro West Conference seems pretty evenly matched. Mentioning before the broadcast, no team of the 4 represented more than 3 games below 500. Benilde St. Margaret's is the team I'm mentioning there, and no team is better than 3 games over in Chaska Chanhassen. Obviously, the conference slate can finish differently, and if they get hot at the right time, the Red Knights certainly have a chance to win the Metro West. 14:05 to play as the Jaguars back behind their own net. A turnover in their own ends will be taken. A scooting pass thrown down low by Maggie Conry, but the Jaguars able to retrieve the puck. Into the Red Knights' end, skating forward and taking it away from the Red Knights, trying to center that pass. It's Kristen Sacco, now kept alive, and going toward the slot, digging for it was Julia Jones. She can't get to the puck, but Nightingale does over on the far side, plays it down low. Sabrina Smith can't center the pass cleanly. Instead, a wraparound shot, swinging around the left face-off circle, was taken by Alex Goddards. And now the Red Knights able to clear the zone, if only momentarily. Battle for the loose puck. Freshy takes it, sends it into the Red Knights' end. Skated down by Gabby Hewson, the starting defenseman. Fanning on the shot, now taking it away. A backhander goes wide of the net. Stick checked away by DiGiulio anyway. Cullen, one of the lone remaining Bloomington Kennedy Eagles back from when they had a team 2 years ago, now a co-op with Bloomington Jefferson, and called the Jaguars, as they are the main feeder program to this varsity and JV team.
Yeah, it's been good to see these two teams co-op. They've certainly created a more competitive program here in the city of Bloomington. I know their youth programs have combined for quite some time, and like several teams in the Metro West, they're part of a co-op. Armstrong and Cooper, two other teams that combine programs, same with Chaska and Chanhassen. But Eldon St. Louis Park, the only two teams in the league that actually do not co-op.
Dieterding gets a pass up ahead on an outlet to Sorum, trying to find a backside Simone, but a good break up there by Freshy. Icing will be called on the Jaguars with 11:44 left in the first period.
Get the feeling here that this one could be a pretty tight defensive battle. I'm not seeing very many good scoring chances so far, and that could end up being similar to the JV game we saw a few minutes ago. It was a 1-0 victory, I believe, for the Bloomington squad, and this one's certainly shaping up to be the same way.
Yeah, that was a pretty well-matched JV game. Seems like Benilde St. Margaret's, although mired in this current 7-game losing streak, playing with confidence and playing aggressively to begin. Just again, haven't had too many scoring opportunities. As Brett mentioned, the defenses have been good on both sides.
Yeah, they've also played a tough schedule so far. Like we talked about, with just 4 teams in the league, that pretty much sets up 3/4 of your schedule as non-conference games, and they have put on their docket plenty of tough squads.
Yeah, I mentioned at the outset, Dodge County in the top 5. Played Eden Prairie as well. They also played Cretin-Durham Hall recently, and for Bloomington Jefferson, they got a victory over Roseville. I know Roseville won the state championship, I think, back in 2010, so still always put together a good program over at Roseville. Good win then for the Jaguars. That happened about a week and a half ago. Still no score here from the Ice Garden as the Jaguars are working from their own end. Board pass, broken up, but taken by McCullen. She ends up getting her own pass into the zone, takes a shot blocker, save, rebound out in front, backhand, and a score! Bloomington Jefferson takes advantage of the individual efforts put on by Callie McCullen, and the backhander is scored. Looks like by number 7, Alex Goddard's, but maybe we've got different vision from what the PA announcer and official scorer thinks, so we'll wait on that, but 1-0 either way, as Bloomington Jefferson had a nice little rush there.
Yeah, good job to stay on that rebound, as DiGiulio had a couple of opportunities to cover it up, but Bloomington a nice job staying on top of that puck, not giving up, and they were finally able to bury about that third rebound opportunity to take the 1-0 lead.
So Alex Goddard is officially credited with the goal. And for the junior, that's her 2nd goal of the season and 3rd overall point. So nice to see her getting in the scoring column in great position down low in front of the crease. Again, set up by senior defenseman Callie McCullen. That'll be her 10th helper of the year and 16th point. 3rd best on the team, best among Blue Liners. 9:33 to play as the Jaguars holding the zone. Can't get that pass though, as Freshie misfired to Nightingale across the way. And they'll switch up the lines. Will the Jaguars? 9:20 to play in the first. 1-0. Fighting for the loose puck down in front of us. Takedown. And the Red Knights trying to possess the puck. Having a bit of trouble on this sequence. Firing a couple passes that go off a Jaguars skate. Now it's chipped up into the Jaguars' end. Graff, a board pass over to Stone, too far. And giving chase to have it be called an icing was Katie Hogg.
And tonight's game is also being shown on BEC TV. We're not on the main channel tonight as they're broadcasting Cooper versus Kennedy girls basketball, but we are on, I believe, channel 14 this evening, so if you have any friends or relatives in the Bloomington area, you can tell them they can also watch the game on their television sets if they have a TV through Comcast. Again, we're on channel 14 this evening.
Curran versus Cornell. Always a pleasure to work with BEC TV and enjoy the partnership. A chance for us to, have our broadcasts on television in the local area.
I know some grandparents watched those games before the Kennedy boys game we did last week when they played Blake. We had a couple of parents ask if the game was going to be on TV, as they had some grandparents that wanted to tune on in that live in the Bloomington area. I'm sure it's the same case tonight as well.
Had some people talk to us. We were in the concourse, so a little bit easier to access us in that game we covered against Blake. And they were like, can we watch it from White Bear Lake? I was like, unfortunately not. You can watch it on our stream, though, online. Opportunity, a shot saved by DeJulio. Nice low line drive by Sabrina Smith. Just fired that one in and kind of caught DeJulio off guard, maybe thinking going up top. Now the Red Knights trying to get a scoring chance. So far, great back checking by the Jaguars. They have this 1-0 lead courtesy of an Alex Geddert's goal at the 6:42 mark of the first period. It was assisted by Callie McCullen. And there goes McCullen, just falls down, a scoring chance, trying to wrap around, but stonewalled by the goaltender's pads. And Old St. Margaret's trying to take advantage of the slip and fall by McCullen, but could not do so. In goal tonight, as I mentioned, Mara McLean. She is just an 8th grader. There's quite a few 8th graders on the Jaguars team. Got a co-op with Bloomington Kennedy. We're talking to Hannah Curran's dad. Even in the feeder system, the JV program, the majority of these girls are from the Bloomington Jefferson side of things. A shot trying to go between the legs. Good close by Freshie to block that shot. Nightingale tied up on the near side wall. Freshie fans on a pass, going back to get it. It's Fashing. Now with it, takes a shot into the abdomen of the goaltender for the save.
Yeah, you wonder if maybe they were to possibly in the future get some new uniforms or become more of a Bloomington name, similar to what Armstrong and Cooper do. They call themselves the AC Wings, if that would maybe increase some interest from the Kennedy players, since it is kind of tough to wear the jersey of your rival. But, of course, this co-op was done on kind of short notice, so maybe wouldn't be surprised if they make some more efforts to kind of unify the program more in the next few years.
Red Knights seeking to end a 7-game losing streak, looking to get on the scoreboard. And I know it's still a fair chunk of the season left, but a very difficult section, and every victory they can get to try to not only win this inaugural Metro West Conference, but also improve their Section 6 AA standings would benefit them. They've got Minnetonka, Wyzetta, Hopkins, Maple Grove, all in the top 15 in the QRF rankings within their same section.
Yeah. Section 6, as you're talking about, without a doubt, the toughest section, I think, in girls hockey in Minnesota. There's so many good squads that you named, and every victory that you can get is certainly important. I think the goal for the Red Knights would be to try to at least get home ice for their quarterfinal matchup, which would, of course, mean getting a top 4 seed, and that still very much is in reach for them. Probably out of the question to get a 1 or a 2 seed, but they could still maybe try to grab that 3 or 4 spot.
Starts down on the ice. There's a backhand save made by DeJulio. Nice snag out of the air. Nice little play up. They set that play up off the face-off win, and good backhand shot there saved. Julia Jones had the scoring opportunity, but DeJulio, cat-like reflexes to make the snag. Now a shot from the slot. And it looks like the rebound goes in. Julio giving up her second goal in about a span of 6 minutes, and the Jaguars are up 2-0.
Yeah, can't really blame DeJulio on that one. Her defense kind of broke down and left a player wide open in the slot. Even though that initial shot didn't go in, just leaving that player wide open set up that rebound opportunity, and Bloomington was there to bury it to give themselves a 2-0 lead. Got to be a little better on your defensive coverage if you're the Red Knights.
Scoring for the Jaguars, her second goal of the game, number 7, Alex Gedderts. Assisted by number 5.
Gedderts will pick up her second goal on the game, so good start for her. Kevin, I know you have the season stats on her, but that's pretty impressive to have 2 goals so far in this game against a pretty talented Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights squad.
Well, it's even more impressive because she's played 18 games. The rest in 18 games this season had 1 goal, and on a span of 6 minutes, 6 seconds, she has 2 goals to her credit, 3 for the season. Sabrina Smith credited with the assist. The senior forward now has 2 of those on the year and 5 total points. Inside of 5 to play as the Jaguars leading 2-0. Centering pass, almost another good look down low, and Jaguars have to be happy with the positioning they're getting in front of DeJulio. Had a player camping out in front of the crease a couple of times. That's where Gedderts got both her goals and almost had a third chance moments ago. Nightingale backhands that one out towards center ice. A slash, and it looks like it will be called over on the near side.
Yeah, that's kind of a frustration play right there. Really no reason to do that if you're a Benilde player.
Yeah, the Benilde St. Margaret's player just came down hard with the stick on top and across the arm of one of the Jefferson Jaguars players just in front of us. An easy call there for the officials, and it will be a 2-minute minor on number 6, Heather Mostrom. She is the team leader in penalty minutes, so I guess those frustrations happen a bit more than some of the other players on the team.
At boys or girls level, every team's kind of got that enforcer.
He's up to 30 penalty minutes, and now the power play chance for Bloomington Jefferson. Nice job on the penalty kill, at least so far. Good effort there by Cornell. Stelgis also back there defending, applying the pressure and forcing Nightingale. And a bad pass to Fashing, and back the Jaguars go to retreats. 40 seconds already killed off on this 2-minute minor. Nightingale. McCullen can't handle the pass. Sorum takes it away. Now battling for it. Curran sends it in. It goes off the stick of her teammate. But Sorum now has the puck. Already killing off more than a minute, trying to take a shot shorthanded. Will be driven down by McCullen, and a penalty will come up on the senior captain.
Yeah, that's a well-deserved, eventual power play that Benilde will earn, as Bloomington very sloppy on that power play, not really setting anything up. You wonder if they maybe got a little relaxed here with a 2-0 lead in the first period. There wasn't a whole lot of urgency on that power play trying to break into the zone, and good hustle play by Benilde will eventually draw that penalty.
A particularly good effort, not only to put the pressure on and get that penalty, but also for a unit that during this 7-game losing streak and even overall cumulatively has struggled a bit on the penalty kill, just 72%, and for the Jaguars they were 36% successful on the power play to not get anything even into the Red Knights zone. And now a 4-on-4 chance, and a beautiful save down low by DeJulio. Hacking a couple of times was number 12, Kristen Sacco, looking for her 3rd goal of the season. This time, though, DeJulio in position and denies it.
Yeah, she's given up 2 goals in this game, but has really made some nice saves here early on in this contest. Her defense hasn't really helped her out a whole lot in this one, but she definitely looks sharp in this one.
Graff has to retreat in this 4-on-4 The Red Knights will have about a minute 10's worth on a power play inside the final 2:15, so
Benil returns to full strength.
plenty of time left. It won't have a carryover penalty like we saw in a couple of instances last week in that Bloomington Kennedy Blake game. Where Blake seemed to always get a power play, but it would carry over period to period. Centering pass, nobody home from the point. Simone down low, Sorum playing catch with Simone. Over to the far side, that's Cornell. Takes a shot looking for the back door, but broken up by Nightingale. Nice read there by number 13, because Sorum was all alone backside on the goaltender. Had that one slip through. 1:36 to play, 30 seconds left on the power play. Inadvertent contact, Sorum goes down. Leads to a chance for Smith. She'll take a shot, pushes this one wide, gets her own rebound, centers the pass, and the Red Knights have it on the backside. That's Grace Peluso. She's one of the returning starters from that high-octane Benilde St. Margaret squad from a year ago that graduated 6 players that went on to play and are currently at Division I programs. Takes a shot. That one goes off the pads. A rebound, but couldn't get the stick. Tied up was Peluso. And her teammate Simone in the final 58 seconds goes back to retreat. There's Peluso. Zings a board pass up ahead to Sorum. Everyone else switches out. Sorum will hunt it down near side boards. Digging, going in against 3 Jefferson Jaguars doesn't work. Won't cut it, and the Red Knights have to regroup from their defense. Turnover, Stone just flips it in, goes all the way down low to DeGiulio, who just stick passes it over to her teammate, number 23, Gabby Hewson, the starting blue liner for the Red Knights. Hewson starts alongside Zandy Swedberg, whose name I haven't yet mentioned really tonight. A shot goes off the pads. That was thrown in by McCullen from the right points. With 10 seconds to play, and icing will be called right before the clock expires. 5.9 showing in the first period.
You're kind of in that no man's land right now where you can maybe think about pulling the goaltender to try for that last second opportunity. Although my thing is probably only under 3 seconds you attempt that. A little too much time right now.
Face-off will be won by the Red Knights. Clear the zone, and that'll do it for the first period. A good one here at the Bloomington Ice Garden for the home team. Jaguars 2 first period goals from Alex Gutterts, and it's 2-0 Bloomington Jefferson over Benilde St. Margaret's. We'll come back for thoughts on the first period coming up momentarily. Again, 2-0 on PSB. Here at the Bloomington Ice Garden, you see the Bloomington Jefferson and Kennedy Jaguars skating out onto the ice. They lead 2-0 coming off this first intermission. Both goals scored at the 6:42 mark and then 11:48 mark of the first period by junior forward Alex Gutterts. First one was assisted by Callie McCullen. The second goal was assisted by Sabrina Smith. And for Gutterts now tripling her season total in goals. Had 1 coming in, now has 3. And she's really thrived, kind of anchoring and boxing out DeGiulio, the goaltender for BSM, standing out in front of the crease and centering passes and some little soft defense as well by the Red Knights considered. She's had good scoring chances. The Jaguars also have had a couple more good scoring chances that were stymied by DeGiulio, who's really had to stand on her head and will have to continue to do so unless the defense makes some adjustments if the Red Knights want to get back into this one. Certainly, I'd say the edge in favor of Bloomington Jefferson. Not a fluke that they're up 2-0 as they dictated play, especially after about the 12-minute mark of that first period.
Yeah, shots on goal clearly in their favor. We don't have the official numbers in that category, but yeah, they've certainly held not a real big edge, but they definitely had the advantage in that area.
I'd say that Benilde has had maybe one grade B scoring chance all game long, so I'd say just juxtaposing that Bloomington has had maybe 4 or 5, including the 2 goals that were scored, as they lead 30 seconds into this second period, taking it back into the Jaguars' end. Nightingale will retrieve. She turns it over, a centering pass, a good scoring chance, but Simone can't get it. Pass a little bit in too steep toward her skates and just couldn't get the arms extended. That was one of the better looks of the night for the Red Knights offensively, who come into tonight's play averaging just 2.4 goals per game. Obviously, as that pass bleeds through the weak side, nobody on the Jaguars home will try to punch that one in. A 2-on-1 opportunity. Simone will take a shot. It deflects up and goes just wide of the net. Had it been a little bit more onto the body of the goaltender McLean, maybe it could have trickled in off that spin. Nightingale, Sacco, now trying to take it away from the Red Knights is Stone. Graff takes a hack. Sacco down low. It's going to be taken by Mostrom. Saying last year the Red Knights averaged about 5 goals per game, but certainly aided by a whole bunch of Division I currently playing girls from that squad that finished second in state. So 2.4 goals, I think, is their lowest goals per game average in at least 7 years. Bloomington Jefferson, meanwhile, averaging 3.1, but their defense and goaltending, at least so far on the whole, has been a little bit below average, especially for their conference. That's actually a conference worst, allowing 3.7 goals per game. Tonight so far, though, the defense has been sound. A 3-on-1 chance, taking a shot to Julio, kick save. Nice job there, as Smith had 2 people to her right, chose to take the shot. Julio found it through traffic and able to kick that one away. 14:32 left in this second period.
Yeah, easy to play Monday morning quarterback, but would have liked to have seen them try to connect on maybe a one-timer to try to get DeGiulio moving. She's been very good at stopping these initial shots. It's been when they've tried to get her moving east and west that they've had a little bit more success. Both their goals have come on rebounds.
So face-off will come to the goaltender's right. Curran in against Sorum. It was won by the Jaguars initially, but then taken away. Good stick checking by Peluso. Peluso still carrying it. Carries the puck, centers the pass, and taken away by Curran. Curran out, knows open space, possibly a odd player rush, and instead Curran is decked into the top part of the wall. But the Jaguars still have it. Centering pass taken away by Pelusa. Nobody home. Backdoor again. We've seen both these teams try to go to that back side of the net without success. At least they're seeing the play, but haven't yet gotten the personnel there to finish one off. Peluso around the end wall over to Simone. Simone vying for the puck, will turn it over. A shot goes between the pads of DeGiulio. I don't know how that shot came in with that tight of an angle. If anyone was home, it would have been easy pickings. But DeGiulio able to make the inadvertent save off the left post now. On that one from the right point by Smith. Smith now hits the crossbar, and DeGiulio kind of shakes her head. It's bouncing all around as the Benilde St. Margaret's are floundering a little bit in the defensive end. 12:57 left in the second period. Finally getting it out and taking away the stick of one of the Jaguars is number 7, Zandy Swedberg, but she gets tied up and comes out on the substitution. Cornell, board pass to herself, up ahead. Instead it goes to Conry. Conry centering pass. Too fast for Cornell, a little tardy in making her way to the slot. Now a backhanded weak pass by Conry is covered up by the goaltender McLean.
Yeah, Benilde St. Margaret's got caught on a very long change, and they were lucky Bloomington wasn't able to put their third goal on the board. Had some very crazy bounces go their way, but this remains a 2-goal deficit, and kind of get the feeling here that if Bloomington pops in one more, that could maybe do it, even though we're still early in the second period. Just does not feel like the Red Knights are going to be capable of scoring more than 2 goals in this game.
On deflects high into the rafters. The referees just elect to let it continue playing. The rafters, as we've mentioned on previous broadcasts here from the Ice Garden on PSB Media, are extremely low. A centering pass, one-timer shot, and it goes just wide of the net. From my initial vantage point, I thought maybe it was going in. Nightingale blasted that one on a good sequence there for Bloomington. Now down low, Conry finds her teammate Stelgis. Sorum will catch it, take a shot, wrap around. It slides just off the stick as she's cradled it around the crease. 11:40 to play. Sorum will get it back, then get tied up, turn it over. Nightingale looking for a feeder, and will find her teammate Bianchi up ahead. Bianchi, one of those 8th graders I mentioned, 4 on the squad, including the starting goaltender Mara McLean. Back behind the cage, Swedberg up ahead, trying to find Simone. The puck is loose, rolling on its top. Fashing tries to pull it back, still fighting for the puck. Now Mackenzie Booth vying for it. She'll get it away and up ahead to Olivia Stone. Going in 1-on-2, will take the slapper. Blocker save made by DiGiulio. Nice accuracy shown by number 9 there, Stone. Pass too far in front, giving chase. It's a foot race. And now a takeout by Rachel Graff. Good pressure and effort by Maggie Conry. And maybe she drew a penalty.
Yeah, great hustle play to beat out that icing. I was sitting here thinking, oh, we got an automatic whistle coming up, but the Red Knights showing some hustle here in this second period. They certainly seem to have a little bit more energy than they had back in the first.
Yeah, nice hustle play, and those are types of momentum changers, and we get one right now off the deflection. Almost immediately after the power play, it looks like Swedberg and Simone team up for that goal.
Yeah, immediately on the power play, and Benilde St. Margaret's rewarded for their efforts. They've had a much better second period than the first, and all of a sudden they've got this down to a 1-goal deficit. Very important for them because they don't really have a very high-powered offense, so any goal they can get, they'll take, and they're right back in this one.
So power play goal scored by Benilde St. Margaret's. On the season now, on the player advantage, about 15%, so improving there. And it was impressive how quickly they got it done.
Yeah, that one didn't take, I think, more than 5 seconds to score on that power play, and certainly made things very interesting. We'll have to see how Bloomington responds. They've had the better of the play in this matchup, but find themselves with just a 1-goal lead. Have to see if maybe some frustration could possibly play a role for them. It's tough when you played so well, but only have that 1-goal lead.
Exactly, and again, those hustle plays can come back and really be a momentum changer for a squad. That's what a referee, or excuse me, not a referee, but a head coach can always stress that, if we try our hardest, try to 100%, the maximum of our abilities, maybe some good things will happen, and certainly it was a prelude to that goal, the effort put on by Crystal Sorum to draw the penalty.
And of course, I also like hustling referees as well. That certainly helps a game, too.
Well, yeah, you want them close to the call and close to the action.
As you were alluding to.
Well, they're always good, too.
Yeah.
A shot. Good save made by DeJulio in transition. That one was thrown in on net by Bianchi. Now back behind the cage is Fashing one-timer. Nightingale turned aside. Puck loose out in front. And a little bit of a push and shove match. Much taller Swedberg and Hannah Curran.
So you agree the referees are always good, even when it comes to Des Bryant in a playoff game?
It's always good to have them be very close to the action, is what I was saying. Always hustling.
They were close to the action on the Des Bryant catch.
There's a shot. Great blocker save by DeJulio. Well, that was just following NFL protocol, which unfortunately to me is incorrect.
I had to give you a hard time on that. I know you're a big fan of changing that rule, and I do agree with you on that. On kind of a side note.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going to get a penalty coming up, though, against Bloomington again, so boy, things are going to get interesting here with Benilde going on back-to-back power plays. And they scored just 5 seconds into their last opportunity, and they got a good chance here to try to get this game knotted up at 2.
Second power play in the course of about 2 minutes. A unit that hasn't been superb on the power play, but took just 7 seconds to score on their previous chance, and here's the same setup. Good closeout this time by Curran, though, to block the point player, Simone. Simone calling for the puck again from Cornell. Cornell having a tough time handling the pass. Will now find Simone. A shot goes into Swedberg using that tall frame to try to screen off the goaltender. Instead, the puck is loose. Great closeout and the save made by DeJulio. What fast skating by Megan Cornell. You see how fast she closed in on Hannah Curran out in open space.
Yeah, that's a good player she closed on as well. Hannah Curran, the leading scorer for this Bloomington squad, very experienced as well. I believe she was on the Kennedy team back as a freshman. You and I saw her play a few times as a sophomore, so very talented player, dangerous short-handed, but knows how fast the Benilde player is. He was able to close in on that streaking Curran.
Back to live action as you saw the replay of Cornell closing out. A one-timer out in front.
Bouncing
and Peluso just a little tardy. And again, yeah, as Brett said, a bouncing puck. Simone. Sorum back to Simone. Sends it over to Cornell. Face-off circle through the slot. Here comes a shot and a score! Again, back-to-back power play goals. And this one's been equalized.
Well, I think we know the strategy. If you're a Benilde St. Margaret's fan, take advantage of these power plays. And if you're Bloomington, stay out of the box. Red Knights have not had a whole lot of offense to speak of outside of their power play opportunities, but they've had less than 2 minutes of power play time if you're looking at it cumulatively, but have 2 goals.
So 2 for 3 on the power play and building confidence on special teams with every passing second and every passing chance. Swedberg credited with the assist, or the goal rather. And Simone and Peluso credited with the assists. And Swedberg, I was noticing the defenseman was playing down in front of the crease. She's got the tallest frame on the team and used that as a screening agent against Mara McLean. Able to get the stick on it as well and reroute that shot initially thrown in by Simone, who ends up with the first assist on that power play goal. So good strategy by Dave Herbst, a very good head coach. His team prior to this season had had at least 18 wins in every year over the last 7. So historically, at least in recent years, a very outstanding Red Knights program. Suffering this 7-game losing streak right now, but coming back on Bloomington Jefferson, we have ourselves a tie game, as I just updated the scoreboard, so I apologize for being tardy on that.
And I think we might be getting another Bloomington penalty coming up.
I believe it was an illegal substitution.
Yeah. And the referee was over there talking to the coaching staff, and exactly what you need if you're Benilde St. Margaret's, is all of a sudden they have a chance to take the lead. I have to see if Bloomington can clean up their penalty kill unit, which has struggled here in the second period.
So 7:27 left. The penalty going to be served by Sacco. Out at the left point, over face-off circle, back out to the point, over the right side. Cornell fires that one in heavy traffic. Able to just get a piece was McLean. Again, Swedberg is anchoring herself down low. I don't know how the goaltender can see anything. Nightingale trying to push Swedberg off, but unable to do so as that shot goes wide of the net. Thrown by Simone. Now Sorum over to Cornell. A good strategy on this power play being put into use by the Red Knights as Cornell will take it again. From Simone, fans on the shot, and here comes an opportunity for the Jaguars. Skating up the slot is Hannah Curran. A shorthanded goal is scored! And the momentum quashed for Benilde St. Margaret's as the Jaguars reclaim the lead.
Well, that's Hannah Curran's second shorthanded opportunity going back to that last power play. This time the Red Knights didn't quite have the speed to close in on her as she just turned on the turbojet, skated past two Benilde St. Margaret's defenders, and was able to go high on DeJulio to give Jefferson a 3-2 lead.
And who would have thought that just simply fanning on that left point attempt shot for the Jaguars would lead to a goal outright, as Hannah Curran just showing off that blazing speed and deadly accuracy. She beat DeJulio. DeJulio didn't come out to contest, and that really put her at a disadvantage as the snipe went through for Hannah Curran. And for Hannah, that is her 15th goal of the season, by far the team's best, and 26th point overall.
Now watch out though, Benilde's still on the power play. They have a chance to tie it.
There's a play down in front, McLean on her back, and she's able to cover up the puck as we have a whistle and stoppage.
Yeah, 20 seconds left to work with here for the Red Knights. Got to forget about that shorthanded goal that you just gave up. Their best offense has come from the power play, so got to take advantage of these next 20 seconds the best you can.
A fairly fluid moving game with the exception of the power plays. I just mean not a whole lot of icings or other stoppages. As there's a shot save initially made by McLean. I thought she held on, but puck jarred loose. Another shorthanded try with 5 seconds left, but coming in offside, says the referee, is Lucy Bianchi.
Like to email us here throughout the broadcast. We're at announcers@psbmn.com, announcers@psbmn.com. Also find that link just below your game tracker screen. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, and any thoughts you have on the game. It's been a good one so far here with a little over 5 minutes left, and Jefferson up 3-2.
So second period of action has seen a whole bunch of action on special teams. All 3 goals in this second frame coming on special teams, coming on a Bloomington time-served penalty. One shorthanded, most recently by Hannah Curran. The other 2 coming from Sydney Simone as well as Zandy Swedberg for Benilde St. Margaret's. They tied the score at 2-2. Went on that most recent power play a chance to take advantage if you're just tuning in, but instead Hannah Curran on a fanned shot attempt from the point took it the other way and burst through, beating DeJulio top shelf to make it 3-2, our current score. You can follow us, PSB Media, on Twitter at PSBMN, or go to Facebook if you want to see our Facebook page. That is simply PSB. Be happy to answer any questions you may have, comments to the comments you have either about this game, future coverage of games, or any requests you may have for game coverage as well.
Yeah, in addition to the type of broadcast you're seeing tonight, we also do stream games in HD quality. Today's game just in standard def, but if you have any events, whether it's sports or corporate events, we can do so here at PSB. And standard def like tonight are also in stunning HD.
4:43 left in the second period. I like the use of stunning.
I've heard that on commercials before. So
Oh, there's a chance over the top of the cage. Fashing almost got away with like an Easter egg find. As that one dropped out of the sky right next to her.
You have the
And
replay of that
DeJulio,
possibly. Let's see. That
DeJulio able to come back over pipe to pipe and make the save.
I like that Easter egg comparison. That's pretty accurate. That one just kind of popped out of nowhere. You're right.
DeJulio literally threw her stick up in the air to try to spear it too. But just did not work, and Fashing kind of standing waiting for the play to come to her maybe. Was very surprised too. It's almost a momentary lapse as everyone's like, are you serious? The puck's now over here? Played up ahead, near side, Maggie Conry. Conry weaving her way back, tries to feed Cornell, slips all the way back to the point. Swedberg takes a shot, deflection down low. Conry couldn't get a piece. That's frozen, and we get an 8 with a hook, so Conry going to the penalty box. Second power play of the game for Bloomington Jaguars.
And unlike Benilde St. Margaret's, the Bloomington power play looked a little sloppy their first time around. They actually gave the Red Knights 1 or 2 good scoring chances shorthanded, so I have to see if the Jags clean things up a little bit here with the player advantage.
Shot right into the body of DeJulio off the faceoff. This faceoff's been pretty successful for the Jaguars. I believe they've now gotten 5 shots again on DeJulio directly off the faceoff, particularly to her left. Curran fighting to win this one. Instead, the Red Knights able to send it around the boards. It'll be, again, that hooking penalty sending Conry to the box with 3:43 left in the second period. 3-2 advantage for Bloomington. Fashing a little bit of trouble handling it from the point, just plays it in to far side. Now Nightingale trying to get some spacing with Curran. Will find Curran. Off the boards, dives, reaches out, can't take it away from Swedberg. Swedberg up ahead, will scoot it along the near side boards all the way down to the Jaguar end, where McClain will retreat. McCullen now. Defenseman all the way up. Finds Nightingale, her line mate. Nightingale, backdoor pass, good look, but Fashing couldn't handle it. It skipped a bit on the ice. McCullen. Find that backdoor play to Fashing, the team's second leading scorer. There's a shot. Good save made. Rebound. Another save made by DeJulio. Fashing winding it up, leaving it for McCullen. Finds Fashing. Tries to wrap that one around. Poked away by DeJulio's stick with 37 seconds left on the power play. And sent out by the Red Knights. Good stand by BSM and DeJulio. Also, nice power play effort so far for Bloomington. Again, after their very rough go of it the first time they had the player advantage. Nightingale centers this. Oh, another bad save made by DeJulio. Kenzie Booth had a good shot from the low slot. Couldn't quite get a full swing into it, and maybe the reason why DeJulio able to react in time to make the save, as BSM successfully kills off the Jaguars' power play with $1:54 left in the second period. Even strength. Booth centers that one, goes off the pads of DeJulio. Out of the far side corner. Action has picked up, trying to find the slot for a ringer. Instead, it's broken up by Conry, who gives chase. Conry was the one that actually drew the penalty. The same 2 players, Graff and Conry, going after it after the play a little bit. As they've developed a bit of a rivalry, I'd say. Maybe a stemming rivalry. Haven't quite seen it full-fledged by any means, with 1:35 left in the second. And they'll see each other a couple more times in the future, I believe.
They have twice a year being here in the same league now, and like you said, they'll have a chance to see each other in the future plenty of times.
Yeah, and Graff just a freshman. A centering pass broken up by a flying stick, and Fashing upset with the no call, and now we do get a call.
Well, speaking maybe of Des Bryant, if you remember that Detroit game, he talked the official into making a call, and maybe that was the case here. Very delayed penalty in the sense that the referee a little slow making their decision, but
well, Benilde St. Margaret's player flying through the slot defensively did throw the stick right into the play. It was perfectly timed. It's almost like, you know, that attempt as a baseball or softball player. You know, if a line drive's hit well over your head, you just want to throw the mitt up and try to make a catch. Pretty much the same scenario here, but with the stick, only this is a penalty. You can do that in baseball and people would just think you're weird, but you're not penalized for it.
Yeah. Well, you're penalized by probably giving up a hit or an error, but
yeah.
Yeah, in hockey, though, a little more costly, as anytime your stick leaves your hand on purpose like that, the referees will call that a penalty.
So back-to-back power play chances for Bloomington. This one, unless the Jaguars score, will be separated by the end of the period. 1:10 to play in the second. 2-minute minor about to be served by number 19, they said, was the infractor Sammy Dieterding, who has 2 assists this season. Jaguars talking things over in a bit of a huddle. Not often you see a team huddle on the ice. We're mentioning those football Des Bryant scenarios, right? Get that as well. Preparing for the face-off. Hannah Curran been outstanding there. She will win it. Nightingale over to McCullen. Will take the shot, goes wide. That was a good ride there from number 10. But the Red Knights do a nice job quickly relaying the puck back to the other end, where McLean forced to cover up given the pressure applied by Julia Stelgis.
And tonight's game can be seen on BEC TV, Channel 14. Kind of a double dose of Bloomington action tonight on BEC TV. On the main Channel 15, they have Cooper versus Kennedy girls basketball, and on 14, they of course have our game here of Bloomington versus Benilde St. Margaret's girls hockey.
Nightingale, good at the line, back behind the net, circling around, centers, broken up. Still a shot taken by Fashing, and off a rebound. The goal is scored. Backdoor pass finally pays dividends for one of these teams. It looks like it might have been Nightingale with the goal. Get the official word momentarily.
Yeah, she's leading that goal charge to the bench, so it looks like she'll give the Jags a 4-2 lead, and that's kind of a back-breaking goal here for Benilde. They work so hard to get those 2 power play goals to get things tied up, and all of a sudden they find themselves back in that 2-goal deficit hole.
Scoring for the Jaguars, number 27, Kendall Fashing.
And Kendall Fashing will actually be credited with the goal.
McCullen and Nightingale, a power play goal at 16:24 of the second period.
So Fashing, that's her 11th goal of the season. And for Nightingale, that's her 8th helper. And that'll do it. I was about to say just under 5 seconds, but in fact I was off by a bit more than that as the second period has expired. Lots of scoring, 2 goals apiece for each side. And Bloomington Jefferson staked to a 4-2 lead after 2 periods of play. Live from the Bloomington Ice Garden, you're watching PSB Media's coverage of Jefferson Red Knights girls hockey. matchup of the season in this Metro West Conference matchup between the Red Knights and the Jaguars. Jefferson Kennedy winning this one 4-1 earlier this month on January 6th. And those are the only two teams of record so far in conference play. Chaska Chanhassen and St. Louis Park yet to play a conference game. That'll change tonight. Playing each other, but Chaska Chanhassen overall with the best record at 10-7. These Jefferson Kennedy Jaguars second with a record of 9-9. 4-2. Jefferson with the advantage on Benilde St. Margaret's, doing a nice job overall, just attacking DiGiulio and this defense of Benilde St. Margaret's that graduated quite a bit, isn't quite as sturdy as they've been in years past, giving up 2.8 goals per game heading into the contest. And a credit to the Jaguars getting out in space, taking those rush opportunities where they can. And of note, most recently, finally breaking through on the power play as well. Their first couple weren't successful, but getting one late, credited to Hannah Curran. She also scored shorthanded in what could prove to be the game winner if Benilde St. Margaret's does not come back. Jaguars playing it from the Benilde St. Margaret's end. Sacco to Stone. Stone in the slot, going to be taken down by a couple of Red Knights players closing in on the puck. McCullen gets a shot all the way to DiGiulio in heavy traffic. Number 30 still able to make the stop. And cleared out. Icing waved off, however, as that one was sent the length by Heather Mostrom. Back to retrieve. That's going to be number 15, Sarah Freshy. Freshy into the Red Knights end. Swedberg. Green's back. Board pass up ahead. Peluso. Plays it back behind the boards, and taking it are the Jaguars. A shot down low and another score. The Jaguars have had their way with the Red Knights in the crease tonight. That's their fourth goal from about point-blank range.
They've just won that battle down there in the crease, and that's a physical battle that this young Benilde St. Margaret's team will have to learn to win in the future if they're to have some success. Jefferson willing to get their hands dirty a little bit working down there in that crease area as they now have a 5-2 lead.
And it looks like DiGiulio also said something to either the referee or to a player as hats being thrown on the ice for the hat trick by Hannah Curran. So have to clean that up, but still a nice gesture over there by the fan base for Hannah Curran. Now with 17 goals in 19 contests, and serving the penalty on DiGiulio will be Grace Peluso. I was trying to mention, as we saw the hats and gloves thrown on the ice, that she said something and the head referee heard it, immediately called her for the infraction. And so Peluso serving the fourth penalty of the game on Benilde St. Margaret's, already 5-2 Jaguars.
Yeah, we mentioned how DiGiulio, a very emotional goaltender in that Eden Prairie game. She was very much physically involved. Tonight she hasn't done a whole lot of pushing and shoving after the whistle. This is really the first time we've kind of seen her maybe lose her composure a little bit, which is tough on the goaltender when your defense has kind of struggled a little bit, especially down there in that crease area, but got to keep those emotions in check.
Shot, a backhanded chance, stab from Fashing. Couldn't get the stick untied. So I was incorrect. It was Alex Gedderts getting the hat trick. I had two choices, Brett, and I got it wrong.
You could have said Kara Gedderts instead of really fast, and no one could decipher what you were saying.
Clearing the zone, the Red Knights. So Gedderts, a huge game tonight for the junior.
Quadruple her goal total on the season.
Yeah, that's incredible.
She's thinking we got to play Benilde St. Margaret's more often.
She'll be happy next year, an opportunity to play them at least twice. Puck out at neutral, sent down the other end. Hustling for it now is Julia Stelgis. Stelgis applying pressure on McCullen. Nightingale slides back to the puck. Cuts back, puts a nice move there on the forechecker. Nightingale into the zone. Behind the cage. Looking. Will dump it back to the near side corner. No, instead she'll take a shot. Redirecting down low is Stone. She gets tied up as the penalty has been served. Back at full strength are both sides with 13 minutes to play in the third. So 5-2 your score, and now we get a penalty being called against the Jaguars. So an opportunity for Benilde St. Margaret's, who's been very good on the power play. Although they did give up the shorthanded goal, they're 2 for 4.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy call there for the official as the Benilde player was checked off the puck, and now we get a look here at the Benilde power play, which gave them some life back in the second period when they came back and made deuces wild on the scoreboard, but since then they've fallen behind by 3.
Simone's shot, just able to get a save was McLean. She lost the stick, and now here comes Hannah McCurran looking and hits the crossbar. She was looking for the hat trick. And how about that? That would have been something if 2 players on the same team had a hat trick in the same night.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to look in the archives for Jefferson to see last time that's happened, or for Kennedy as well. Curran, that also would have been her second shorthanded goal of the night, too. Would have added more of an accomplishment to that.
Yeah, exactly. Instead, the Red Knights, backhanded pass, down low. Nice job coming out of the crease, McLean, to break that one up. Pelusa was eyeing a backdoor slapper. Instead, it goes out to the point. Simone, Sorum. Centering pass too strong. Back to Simone. Takes a shot, rebound given up, an open net, and a goal scored by the Red Knights.
Well, the power play's been their best offense, and they're right back in this one, trailing by just 2 goals. As the Red Knights not ready to go away yet. This power play unit now with all 3 of the Red Knight goals. That'll be a key here if you're a Jaguars fan. Just got to stay out of the box here the rest of the way.
So offensive-minded, these 2 teams tonight. And 2 players both had a stick on it. It'll be interesting to see who gets credit for the goal. And they give the goal to Sorum. And they give the assist to Swedberg. They both literally swung at the same open puck. So Swedberg still gets credited with the assist, but I'm sure she wouldn't have minded having the second tally of her night. To make it a score of 5-3.
A very high scoring game for both these squads. And the Red Knights average less than 3 goals per game. Jefferson averaging less than 5, so a bit of an offensive explosion here tonight.
Icing called against Benilde St. Margaret's. And we'll have a face-off to Julio, is left.
And now if you're Benilde St. Margaret's, kind of take the game here in 5-minute shifts. If you can make this a 5-4 game by the 5-minute mark, certainly will have yourselves in good shape.
Yeah, definitely not out of it yet.
Apologize there. We may have had our commercial music still playing at the beginning of the game, but it looks, or beginning of the period here, but it looks like it's run its course. I think we were trying to add a little video game type music in the background.
A virtual experience.
Yeah.
If it was running, it would have only been for about a minute or so. But I apologize.
5 to arcade games.
Yeah, 5-3 the score. Even strength right now. And that's the way the Jaguars hope it remains. Had a tough time on the penalty kill. This shot snagged by DiGiulio. That one thrown in by Bianchi.
if you'd like to email us throughout the broadcast, we are at announcers@psbmn.com. Also find that link just below your game tracker screen. Let us know who you're cheering for, where you're listening from. Love to read those messages on air here on PSB.
And the icing called against the Red Knights to stop the clock. 10:03 showing.
And just one more promo to throw at you. If you are a Bloomington, Jefferson, or Kennedy hockey fan, BEC TV will have coverage of each team's Saturday home games throughout the season, no matter if it's boys or girls. A great resource to watch your Jaguars and Eagles all season long. BEC does a tremendous job covering those games with multiple cameras, different looks at replays, and nice on-screen graphics as well.
Back to play. The Jaguars from their own end. Shot deflects high. McLean saw that one all the way and does a nice job snagging the puck out of the sky. Even in traffic, making the stop there. Had she not handled it, it could have been dangerous as she was far out of the crease.
Yeah, got to be careful here with just that 2-goal deficit, as I don't want to allow the Red Knights here to kind of hang around. They've been opportunistic on the power play, but they're going to come back and tie or win this game. They're going to have to find a way to get some offense 5-on-5.
Exactly.
Can't count on Jefferson picking up 2 power play, or penalties, I should say, here in the final 9:29.
Another icing call. This time going against Bloomington with his 5-3 advantage. Trying to move above 500. As play goes out to neutral ice. Bloomington hasn't been above 500 in the new year. They've traded wins and losses, and coming off of 1-5 loss to Dodge County, it'd be falling in line with their trend of late. And speaking of trends, Benilde St. Margaret's 7 consecutive losses, so should they lose, they would stick with that trend as well.
And again, despite those 7 losses, they played well in some games, including giving the #1 rated team in the state, Eden Prairie, all they could handle, losing just 2-1 in a game we broadcast. So don't let that fool you with that 7-game losing streak. As fans have seen tonight, this Benilde St. Margaret's team is young, but they do have a lot of talent.
A shot goes just wide of the net. That one thrown down low by Julia Stelgis. Skating up, Cornell. And taken away by McCullen. McCullen dig that one in deep, and it goes all the way down the length for another icing. 8:18 left in the third. So some more stoppages as these girls possibly getting more and more tired legs. So just resorting to those icings. Chance to freshen up. Cornell going in against Booth in the face-off circle to the right of McLean.
Both probably thankful they're at least not on rank 3 here at the Bloomington Ice Garden. We did that Kennedy Blake boys game, and it's one of the rare Olympic-sized sheets of ice that you'll see a high school game played on, and certainly did play a little bit of a role in that game with not as many icings, and play certainly opened up a little bit.
Malmstrom, Stelgis gets a little bit of an elbow, it looks like, to the helmet of Booth. No call there. As the Red Knights can't get it out to the point cleanly, trying to find Mostrom, but that pass had a lot of zest on it. Thrown in and back toward the point by Conry with 7:30 to play. The Jaguars from their own end. McCullen skating up near side, tries a board pass to Smith, will dump it into the zone, giving chase and corralling it. Peluso, she turns it over. Cornell couldn't handle the pass, and it trickles down to DiGiulio, or she'll cover it up. Just a reminder, coming up on Thursday, we'll have Eden Prairie hockey action. Coverage from the Plymouth Ice Center. Eden Prairie and Wyzetta, and then on Saturday it's Eden Prairie versus Minnetonka as the Lake Conference slate fully underway now this time of year in girls and, in this case, boys hockey.
That almost took a nasty hop on the way to DiGiulio. That's the toughest save sometimes for a goalie to make, to have that puck drop right in front of you. You take a bounce like a couple of inches, but stayed awake and was able to make that save.
Sorum getting out ahead, showing off her wheels. Will beat 3 Jaguars to the puck. And it bled past the nets, so she couldn't get a shot off. Now play goes out to neutral ice, back toward the Red Knights' end where they'll reset Houston. Up ahead, Simone. Simone trying to split 3 defenders, can't handle the puck as she attempted to dangle it. Instead, it'll be Curran, and she flips it up right next to me.
Got to reach out your hand there, Kevin. Come on, get that glove ready.
I think she saw her dad up here, and she was trying to give him a souvenir. In fact, he goes down to retrieve it.
There you go.
So 6:22 left in the third period. Curran goes in on the face-off. Nice body positioning, using that low center of gravity, digging in and just pivoting to allow her defenders to get hold of the puck. She checks her own teammate to the ice inadvertently. And the Red Knights center pass. Stelgis takes a shot, blocked. Cornell, Stelgis, backhand, blocked again, taken away Curran, broken up Cornell, nice hustle. We've seen her fly down the ice and dive for some loose pucks. Great individual effort for number 15 tonight. She does have a tally in this 5-3 game in favor of Bloomington. 5:30 left. Still not out of it, but Benilde St. Margaret's probably hoping to get a goal within the next 2 or 3 game minutes. Give themselves a shot. Sorum, 1-on-2, makes a nice move, gets a shot away, rebound, and it's turned aside by Graff. Able to just close out on the backside. Good chase in pursuit by Peluso.
Using the old how's she going move, getting around the Jefferson defender, and then got a juicy rebound as well, but Benilde not able to put it home. Their best chance to try to make this a 1-goal game.
Well, Sorum, in basketball and football too, as she blasts that one high over the crossbar. They love wingspan on players. They talk about wingspan. Well, Sorum, very lengthy, and that certainly helped her out on that move. Sacco takes a shot kick to side by DiGiulio. 4:30 to play. Has had a nice flow to it over the last couple of minutes as the Red Knights have picked up the pace, trying to go out of the line change, but unable to retrieve the puck in time. Maggie Conry skates back to her own end, where she'll see her team face it off against the Jaguars.
Well, part of it is because Bloomington is playing a little bit more defense, but I'd say over the last 8 minutes or so, it's easily been the best forecheck we've seen established by the Red Knights, and really the first time this evening we've seen them with the better of the play for an extended period of time.
Shot broken up by Cornell, skating up near side, good at the line. Conry tries to hip check a player. She succeeds but can't keep the puck in her possession. And now coming in offside will be Stelgis. She had Cornell to her right.
Well, here with 3:59 left, we'll keep an eye on DiGiulio. Sometimes when you're down by 2 goals, those coaches aren't afraid to pull the netminder with 2 or 2.5 minutes left. So, yeah, certainly getting close to that time of the game.
Face-off won by the Jaguars. Seems like they've won the lion's share, although it's been somewhat evenly matched. A lot of those face-off wins have come from DiGiulio's left and resulted in shots directly in on the goaltender. No scores as a result, although the Jaguars have been superlative at scoring from the crease. 4 of their 5 goals being scored at the crease or alongside one of the posts. 3:22, including the hat-trick effort tonight from Alex Gutterts. 2 goals in the game for Hannah Curran. There's a shot, a rebound given up by McLean. She's been giving up some rebounds Red Knights recognize that and trying to get players home in front of the net. Just could not get one there soon enough. At the puck, Stelgis out to the point. Swedberg back to Stelgis, fanning on the pass, and the puck's loose, taken by the Jaguars. That's Freshy. Up ahead, Bianchi, and the icing waved off. Swedberg out of play off a deflection. Another face-off forthcoming. 2:37 left in the contest.
Yeah, you've talked about how McLean has given up some rebounds here in the third period, and Benilde has done a good job recognizing that. They get to the point where they pull their goaltender, certainly got to try to leave maybe one or two players out in front and just throw whatever you can on net.
Peluso trying to get that puck down to the other end, maybe to do exactly what you suggested, Brett, and get a player in position, pull the goaltender. 2:11 to play. Hewson, nice series of moves to at least break the Jaguars' zone. But McCullen gets it straight back. Hewson has some trouble knocking the loose puck down. Over to Swedberg. Fires that one into McLean, kicked aside. Giving chase is Peluso. Taken and sent around the boards. Jaguar players home defensively. Smith carries it up, uses his body to screen away the puck from Simone and carries it into the Red Knights zone. It's turned back the other way by Benilde St. Margaret's, but they lose the puck as Maggie Connery trying to split the D to no avail. Pass broken up, trying to go center again, and the Red Knights just trying to get it into the Jaguar zone for a sustained scoring chance, but nice effort so far defensively in the last couple of minutes from the Jaguars. With about 5:37 left, if you are just joining us or need the refresher, there was that rebound going to the backside. It was still 5-3. Grace Peluso had an opportunity, but a heck of a closeout defensively by Rachel Graff. Broke up that scoring opportunity, what could have been an open goal blindside score from Peluso, and made it a 1-goal difference. It remained 2, and we haven't really seen the Red Knights get too many chances since.
Yeah, we have not. Again, all three of those goals have come on the power play, so in essence, you would think with this face-off in the offensive zone, they'll get, I guess, a quasi-power play 6-on-5, so we'll see if that maybe helps them get some offense generated. But yeah, time's certainly short here with 1:16, and credit the Bloomington defense. They did give up some possession, but what was important, though, was that they didn't give up any sustained pressure. They were quick clearing the puck as soon as it was dumped in their zone, and that disallowed Benilde to really sustain some pressure and try to pull the goaltender.
Yeah, and at this point, 1:16 left. Obviously, don't want to say Benilde St. Margaret's is out of it. Still with time on the clock and within striking distance. Never can say never in that sense, but time is definitely of the essence. Try to avoid 8 consecutive losses and an 0-2 start to the Metro West Conference play. And the face-off will be taken. A slap shot, fanning on it a little bit. McLean able to cover up. Trying to take that one from the point was number 19, Sammy Dieterding. She's the one who was penalized earlier in the game, flailing her stick at the puck.
I'm very surprised here that Benilde has not pulled DeJulio yet. They've had an offensive zone face-off, 2 of them, but they've elected to keep her between the pipes. I think you gotta pull her off the ice and get the extra attacker. She's still in the crease.
And she remains there even now with the puck held in at the Jaguars' end. Nightingale, though, carrying, makes a move out to neutral ice. Up ahead, offside, they're going to call Bianchi.
And that might be a missed opportunity there for Benilde. That offensive zone faceoff is the best chance to get the goaltender pulled. Now they're likely going to have to try and do a dump and chase to get the extra attacker on the ice.
Faceoff is going to be won by the Jaguars, and DeJulio forced to cover up. Sabrina Smith with the aggressive close. Both teams have done a nice job skating through the whistle. And this one, as a shot goes wide of the net. And jackknife up high off the glass. And even now, DeJulio remains in net. Just 23 seconds left in the contest. 5-3, Jaguars leading the Red Knights. Swedberg has a goal and an assist tonight. Feeds Simone, who's got a goal. Takes a slapper, goes high off the blocker. With 8 ticks left on the clock, the Jaguars will go 10-9 on the season. And the Red Knights fall to 7-11-2. As this one is in the books, 2-0. The Jaguars move in Metro West play. Nice overall sound effort by Bloomington. And Benilde St. Margaret's has some things to work on, trying to again end that 8-game losing streak after a 7-2-2 start. Start defensively, but definite positive takeaways to consider in this one. Their power play unit hadn't been all that successful, especially of late, and they got 3 power play goals and 5 chances, so definitely a silver lining in this one, a positive silver lining, that they can get their special teams possibly moving in the right direction moving forward. Some games left to play to turn their momentum around, but tonight the momentum and the victory is the Jaguars. Again, 3 goals for Alex Gutterts, 2 from Hannah Curran. For Benilde St. Margaret's, they got all power play goals, 1 from Sydney Simone, 1 from Zandy Swedberg, and the other from Crystal Sorum. That's her team leading 10 of the season. Winning goaltender is Mara McLean, now 3-2 this year. Anna DeJulio falls to 6-11-2. For Kevin Ford, Brett Johnson, we appreciate BEC TV for broadcasting this game on Channel 14. We thank you all for tuning in. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at PSBMN. And have a great night. Enjoy the warm-up we're having the rest of the week here in the Twin Cities. Going to see 30 degrees over the next couple of days as opposed to the -10. Final score one more time. Bloomington victorious over Benilde St. Margaret's 5-3. Have a great evening.
Thanks for tuning in to live, local, play-by-play coverage of tonight's game. Catch all the action all season long on your home for Southwest Metro Sports, PSB Media. Tonight's game was brought to you in partnership with BEC TV. You can find an archived broadcast of tonight's game available 24/7 on PSBMN.com.